Afternoon. How are we all doing? All good? No news today. Boring day. Boring morning as well. Hardly any movement. So, yeah, one of those days today, isn't it? How is everybody? Afternoon, Ian, Fletch, Baggy, Monkey, Peter, Gregors, Virginia, Martin, Julio, Brian. Is this platform real? It is, yes. This is a real platform. It's been spammy day today, hasn't it? We've had quite a few spammers today. Scammers, spammers. They're busy. Busy scamming and spamming because they need to earn money for their Christmas presents. Afternoon, Neo. David, Lucas, how are we doing? Right, so let's kick off with news. There isn't any. We've got 6:45 this evening. We've got Bailey talking. And then later tonight, we've got Bullock for the Australian dollar. But other than that, no news today. Fair bit of news coming up this week. The main focus of it is CPI on Tuesday. And then obviously we've got an FOMC meeting minutes tomorrow, weirdly. We normally have these on a Wednesday. I don't know why we're having it Tuesday this week, but we are. But there's no press conference, so it is just a report. May or may not do something. And then we've got scattered PMIs and other bits and pieces throughout the week. So, but today, nothing exciting to look at. This morning, oh, this is new. Nothing much this morning. What's this, OPEC? UAE allowed to increase supply of oil under current deal. The key OPEC member post. Okay, so different bit of news on oil there. I've just got out of oil this morning. 1:30, 2:30. Yeah, it's about an hour ago. So market having a slightly negative reaction to that news, but nothing dramatic. So I've just got out of oil. I've been in oil for a while. Got into oil initially 9th of October. But that position there, which was the one that I couldn't get out of, was the 13th of October. So it's been a month. Just got out of it. So I took an aggressive position on this on Thursday last week, and I've just exited on that move up today. So nice profit. I'm not trading oil anymore for the moment. It's too erratic. It doesn't really suit position trading. So I'm going to give it a skip, I think, for the minute. I'm going to monitor it, but I'm not going to trade it. Got into too much drawdown too quick, too aggressively, which is like gold, which is why I don't trade gold. But I've just banked 8.7% on that this morning. However, I need to do something with CAD Swiss. So I might use some of that for some drawdown control on CAD Swiss. So this one at the moment, it looked like it was going okay. So when I closed out oil, we had a little bit of a rally. Now oil's just dropped. The CAD's dropped. So I took another aggressive drawdown control position on this one. But basically, it's suddenly tanked again. So if it breaks that low, I'm getting out. And if it does break that low and get out, that's going to be 1% loss. And then I'm going to do some drawdown control on it as well, because it's just not getting anywhere, this CAD Swiss. We haven't managed to get a pullback on it. It's been very small and very aggressive. So literally every pullback we've had has just been too short and too small for me to exit on. So but I'm going to monitor it for the rest of the day and see where it goes. We'll see where we go. DAX this morning was an absolute nightmare, washout. We sat here this morning and basically we got the break at the open. It went down, just about touched 1R. And then we were like, oh, this looks like a lovely pullback. And then we sat there for an hour and a half and I just said, screw this. And I got out. So I got out and then literally half an hour later, it pushed back up into range highs. Then it pushed back down to where we were. So literally 2 or 3 hours, we've gone absolutely nowhere. It did sell off a little bit down to a 2-hour target, but sat through it for over an hour this morning. Just didn't move, so got out. So nothing banked this morning. Sad face, nothing banked. So we'll see where we go on the rest of the indices. The market's opening literally in 40 seconds. What was that other news on EU? Commission proposes extending looser EU state aid. All right, that's fine. Okay, so we'll have a look at the FX market when the markets are open in the US. There's a lot of movement, a lot of ADRs. The yen has decided to power up. So we'll have a look at that in a minute. But we'll see where we go at the open. First of all, market seems to be selling off pre-market. Bit of volatility coming in. So pre-market's taken on all day. NASDAQ looks like it's running for the highs. Afternoon, Kibria, Evans, Lucas. Scammers for Christmas presents. Well, scammers have families too, you know. They also need to pay for Christmas. Scammers are just normal human beings like you and me, you know. Just work for the Russian mafia. Other mafias are available. Trading CAD like trading gold, oil? Yeah, it is. They very much move together. Afternoon, Mark. So we're long on the NASDAQ. Coming into pre-market highs and yesterday's high. So the NASDAQ, this is a strong resistance. So this is Friday's high. And yesterday's high. So we know that there's a lot of sellers and a lot of limit orders at this level. So if we pop this level, we should be on for a good break, I think. There we go. We're through and we're off. There we are. So nice break, nice clean break on the NASDAQ today. So we'll see where we go. But that's a nice bit of volume came in there at the open. Long on the Dow and long on the S&P. So all three broken long this afternoon. Now, wouldn't it be nice to get a triple clean break? Haven't had one of those for a while. And it's my birthday today. So in theory, the market should pay me because you always get paid money on your birthday. And it's my birthday. So let's see if we can get a present. You watch, it will hedge every single one of them now. Typical. So just looking at levels on these. Now, so obviously all the we're on a big run at the moment. This is so due a pullback. So due a pullback. We literally pushed, accumulated, pushed, accumulating. We haven't had a pullback since well, basically November. We haven't had a pullback this month. Absolutely huge move. S&P very much the same, obviously, and the NASDAQ even more aggressive. So they're all out of the highs basically at the moment, or just running onto the highs. We've got the S&P is at a decent level of resistance, and then we've got another monthly high up there. NASDAQ, that's way out the highs already, so that's got a lot of room to run basically. Last week's high on the NASDAQ is on the cards. Now we've broken yesterday's high, so that's your next stop, which is ADR today. And the Dow, same thing. So last week's high basically is initial upside target on all three indices. S&P is actually quite close to that. So that's what I'm looking at upside. So easy 5R to the upside there. That's just about 2R I'm just going to move my TP down underneath that one. Last week's highs, sort of 3R there on the Dow. So if we do clean break today and run, there's plenty of room for targets today. 50th birthday yesterday. Here's my 5. Here is my 0. And here is me. Old codger. Oh, no, I also got a really good present. A walking stick and a Zimmer frame. That's what happens when you get old. Walking sticks and Zimmer frames. For your 50th. My kids think I'm really old. They think their teachers are old. Their teachers are like 30. They think their teachers are old. Bad, isn't it? Anyway. Yes, well, Rajiv saw the 50 behind me in the earlier live stream, so kind of put the 2 and 2 together. Don't look a day above 49. Funny that. I'm not a day above 49 yet. That's tomorrow. TP hit on the NASDAQ. Out on the NASDAQ. Trailing 1R. Dow. Bit of rejection at the pre-market high for the Dow. Okay, Dow's getting a little bit stuck at the highs. Really nice propulsion gap there out of that accumulation as well. Big sell order from Friday there. So that's a nice target to the upside as well for limit orders. So 2R looks good today. Move that into that propulsion gap. NASDAQ also rejecting pre-market highs out of the propulsion gap. Just moving TP down below yesterday's high on the S&P. Just because we might find some resistance there before we get to the previous week. If we get there. Dow Jones not looking good. See where we go. It's good was in my frame, isn't it? I shall need that soon. Not sure it's really going to hold my weight though, seeing as it's just inflatable, but you never know. Don't weigh that much. Right, we're not really getting much further on the Dow. S&P's breaking pre-market. Nice break on the NASDAQ. 3R. So we're coming up into the propulsion gap on the NASDAQ as well. So resistance across all 3 at the same time here. S&P just got a nice little pop out the highs there. Saw that pop. So that's all the, there you go. So that's all these orders basically that were sitting there, stopping out, flipping long. So it's all the market participants going back the other way because they, their orders short flipped at that point. The puke. Dow Jones is stuck. Okay, Dow's out the highs. I'm just going to take, I'm just closing out that S&P at 1, which it's actually about 1R actually I got in the end there, not 1.5. Just because we've got a clean break and profit locked in there. That's going to hit target now because I've closed it. There we go, we're running. So the only reason I'm closing that is because we got yesterday's high and last week's high coming up as resistance. What I don't want is that just to get slammed back really fast. So just locking that second half in. And the Dow will keep a close eye on. Clean breaks all round. It is my birthday. They listened. That one's still at risk though, so watch that one. Okay, so Dow hasn't managed to get through pre-market highs at the moment. So we were hitting resistance here. Going to stop out on the NASDAQ. That'd be 2R, so 4R on the NAS. Maybe, maybe not. That one's locked in, so I'll just deal with the Dow. See what the Dow does. I'll keep an eye on that one there. Right. FX. So oil I'm out of now. Done with oil. That was a ride. Just stopped out the CAD Swiss. So those two aggressive CAD Swiss positions I've stopped out on. Okay. So I'm going to scale out of this CAD Swiss. This is not working at all. So, right. Five. $4.8. That brings down to 4.7. I think I'll leave it there. So CAD Swiss is not working, basically, obviously, as you can see. So just scaled out some of that. I had two aggressive drawdown control positions put on. That one that triggered today looked like it was working. And immediately it's just sold off. So just can't get any traction on this at all. Since I got into it. All we've done basically is I had those two positions which I took off clean there, but all these higher positions here since the initial entry, which was up here, literally we've just gone sideways, ground, had a big drop, sideways for 2 weeks, little bit of a pullback up into that accumulation, sliding back down again. So it literally is the weirdest price action. It's not even a profit take move. It's not even a strong push. It's just grindy price action, sideways, virtually nothing, just not working at all. So starting to scale out of this. I've got an aggressive position, which is going on again on this one. I'm just going to move that down now. Above that high there. So when we get an H1 reversal alert, I will add another aggressive position on. So my average is still absolutely miles away. So just firefighting this one until we get a pullback. They're just not pulling back on it at the moment. Strong Swiss franc again by the looks of things. Or is this weak Canadian? This is weak Canadian dollar again. Really weak oil. It just can't get a break on anything at the moment. Literally can't get a break on anything. So out of that one. So oil, I'm flat. used half the profit of oil, roughly, to reduce drawdown on the CAD Swiss. Might use a bit more, actually, to be honest. I've got plenty of profit there. That one. It's getting rid of the top position as well on that CAD Swiss. So that one's gone as well. So yeah, just reducing the lot size down on that. Just getting out of a load of it. Just want to get the drawdown a little bit more manageable. It's a bit too much. So I'm just worried about this moving further in the opposite direction. So Dow is stuck. They're all stuck, actually. So all price actions just stalled out on the indices at the moment. Not completely. So out of the NASDAQ, trailing stops taken out of that one. Still second long on the Dow, and obviously, sorry, on the S&P. Dow still got both positions long. Right. So ADRs today, loads of them. Most of this is yen based. So today has been yen day. So we started this move on the Japanese yen last week. Finally got a little bit of a pullback, and then market structure looks like it's starting to build some strength on that yen. So all the yen pairs hitting ADRs. We've got 200 ADR on the CAD. Obviously, the CAD's massively weak, as we know at the moment. But yeah, everything's starting to roll over. Nice market structure, big sell-off, undone weeks worth of gains, basically. So nice big pullbacks. So the question is, are these pullbacks, and are we putting in more yen weakness moving forward, or is this the start of a reversal in structure? And we're going to start to get some yen strength. So at the moment, we still don't know if that US dollar is strong off the back of the CPI figures or weak. We're going to find out probably with FOMC tomorrow. But reversals, obviously, the structure is looking very much like it wants to drop now across the board. So any ADR hits you get to the downside, which we've had today, quite a few of them, obviously you can still take these. You are going to get reversal alerts. They are going to pull back on the moves. But if this is a structure break to the downside, obviously you're only looking for a maximum 50% retracement on each leg. That would be an aggressive target. I would be looking more for shallower pullbacks. So just be careful if you're going to take all these RSIs. They're ADRs. They're all ADR hits to the downside. They're all working, but how long they're all going to last, difficult to tell. So that one we haven't hit ADR yet. US dollar yen 175 ADR. Again, you've had a reversal alert on the 15-minute at 175, 5-minute, same pretty much reversal alert there. There's your W pattern playing out nicely. But as you can see, there's still quite a lot of pressure. So watch previous support resistance levels. And, you know, with these sorts of trades, when you get to ADRs on something that's falling this fast, it is still going to bounce. Yeah, they are still going to profit take. When they sell off like this, percentage of those sellers will want to get out of their positions. This is why you only get a percentage pullback and not a full pullback, because a lot of them want to hold and keep the move. So these guys are the ones that are taking profit on those moves there. So always look at previous support resistance for clues. So where we pushed down there and pulled back, so that's the profit take move on that leg. That is where it started from. Then they came down, retested it, and then broke it. Obvious level of support there, which turns into resistance to move back down again. So just watch all of these levels. You're going to get in, like if you got in there on that reversal alert, or you got in on the retest there. When you're up to there and you're hitting that level, that's the time you go to break even if you're using stop losses, because if it is going to bounce there, you want to be out. It might accumulate and break through it, which is absolutely fine. But when you're going against the trend, and it's a very strong trend like this, you want to use your break-even stops when you get into profit and you get to levels which are expected to be support resistance. If it's not enough profit to take, obviously. So good moves on all these yens. As you can see, ADRs all over the place. The other ADRs we've got are Aussie based. We've got Aussie dollar CAD, which is 125 ADR today. That's just given a reversal alert there. You did have one off of ADR earlier this morning here as well. So big, strong push up. I am short on this one already. Too close for another position though. 5. Far off, is it? $46.5. Reversal alert happened at 45.1. I'm just going to stick a sell underneath that low. That was like a pip out from being an entry with the EA. The EA obviously hasn't taken it. So if this continues to push up and makes a new high, we're going to get a new reversal alert go in, which will probably get taken by the EA. If this is going to be a retest and that's going to be the M pattern, I'm going to get in as we come down on that second leg with another position. So that's nicely extended. Aussie CAD, CAD yen, Swiss yen, we've covered. Euro yen, we've covered. Pound yen, we've looked at. US yen. So New Zealand CAD is also extended. Again, Canadian dollar getting hammered. So obviously everything pushing against that. There's an entry there. At 125 ADR, you would have had an entry as well, just about there at ADR. So that's your second entry this morning on that one. And again, still pushing that Canadian dollar getting hammered a little bit, but nice entry opportunity there. Euro CAD just hit ADR. So that's coming off the weekly high as well. So very nice resistance bounce that. Hasn't given a reversal on the hourly though. Target, as you can see, I've got down here, is basically in that propulsion gap. So this is what we don't know, whether or not that US dollar is going to weaken or strengthen, which will take the Canadian dollar with it. Market's just breaking back to the upside, trying to. NASDAQ's retesting higher day. S&P looks like it's having a go. Dow's more flagging at the moment. So yeah, New Zealand dollar CAD, New Zealand dollar Swiss is also extended. That's already played out. You missed that one. You needed to have taken that one this morning. There's your reversal alert. ADR, reversal alert. You can hardly see it because it's so tight. Straight up, out. Job done. I'll take that one though. And New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So nice reversal at ADR again this morning. You didn't get one there. So yeah, that's your first reversal alert this morning. There's your M pattern. Very nice drop. So there's your ADRs. Quite a few of those today. Most of them yen based though, which obviously is running against a freight train at the moment. RSIs, there's a few of those as well. New highs of the day on the NASDAQ and the S&P. Shame, got stopped out on that one. So see how far we can get on the S&P. 5-hour target is all the way up there. Let me just look at this. Sorry, I just want to look at this monthly high and see what it is. Level there, isn't it? Yeah. So upside, if we break this high today, we're running straight into potential resistance at a monthly high. So regardless of where the monthly level is, the monthly high and low has always got limit orders sitting at it, because on a monthly chart, investors are playing the highs and lows of the monthly candlesticks or monthly moves, if you like. So there will be some kind of resistance, I would imagine, there, which is before ADR today. So ADR is basically all the way up there. So I'm just going to move that TP2 down underneath that monthly level, just 4 and a bit R. We've got to break through this weekly level first, which is this black line. So if we do get through that, we've got a good chance of running up into that monthly. And then if we do break that monthly, obviously ADR would be the next stop. So I'm just going to move my target down underneath there, because if it does react hard off of that monthly level, there's no point in having your target there. Have your target there. The difference between that and that financially, it's just not worth it. Just take it at the level it's more likely to hit. Looks at the moment like it's rejecting yesterday's high anyway. Look, sellers are stepping in again at yesterday's high. Dow's having the same problem. Can't get through. Stuck at the pre-market on the Dow. Right. Okay. Euro CAD. Euro just wants to keep going. It's more like the Canadian dollar wants to keep dropping. If you look at the Euro odd, for example, Euro odd's down on the day. Euro Swiss is up a little bit, not much. Euro pound kind of sideways. Euro New Zealand's not really gone anywhere. You look at the Euro CAD. This is the Canadian dollar being weak. This isn't the Euro being strong. This is the CAD weakness. Yeah, nothing you can do about it. As I know, because I'm in CAD Swiss. Yeah. But this entire move, kind of from there, really, because that was a decent pullback. But from there, we haven't really stopped. So I would expect a decent pullback over a period of a week or so, maybe even less. Yeah, you climb up the stairs, you tend to fall down the elevator shaft very fast. So when you've got a move that extended, yeah, you tend to get a very quick pullback. It just takes a news event. We haven't got anything particularly interesting coming at the moment, news-wise, but there's your double top high. So that's 175 ADR. We're at ADR today. So we're only looking at 3/4 of an ADR. You could do that today. Maybe not today. Could be doing it tomorrow. Once we hit that level, we will get some trigger. Whether it's enough to drive it back down into there, we'll wait and see. But that's where I'm targeting at the moment. But I will be getting another position on that before that starts to come down. So big moves up. RSIs, there's a few RSIs to look at. Just watching the NASDAQ and the S&P retesting higher day. Dow is really not playing ball today. Got high of day just been retested on the NASDAQ, didn't get through. S&P is trying again. Stuck a little bit. Come back to that in a minute. So Aussie dollar CAD on the RSIs, we are extended on the hourly. There's 4 hourly extensions. Obviously, US dollar yen, there's no point in looking at that. We know that is extended at the moment. That thing's selling off like a loony. I'd be very wary about longing it. Just because of the speed of the drop. US dollar is very, very weak. Yen is powering up at the same time. When there's strength coming into the yen, it tends to be pulled out of the US dollar to do that. As we've got the US dollar being weak and they are powering up the yen, you've got twice as much pressure on that US dollar drop, which is why this has come down so hard. So we are very extended on the 4 hour. So it looks really good on paper. These 4 hour RSI extensions, you typically do get a bounce from them. This has come straight off the 72 as well. I'm not sure how far it would bounce back, though, from here. So just be careful. Out the highs, new high of the day on the S&P, new high of the day on the NASDAQ, new high of the day on the Dow, all going. Locked in 1 and a bit R extra profit on the S&P. Haven't hit target on the Dow yet. Well, that's a nice birthday present, isn't it, from Mr. Market Maker? I should have a birthday every day, shouldn't I? Easy. So yeah, so we are pulling off the 72 at the moment, potentially. However, this is more like a fundamental shift off of those CPI figures last week. So I get the feeling this is probably the start of the drop. So US dollar yen extended to the downside. So just be careful if you do long it. Just try and get out as fast as you can, really. Don't go for long targets on it. So that is massively extended. Let's go back to front. US dollar Swiss, 4-hour RSI extension to the downside. This was already extended last week. I'm already in this long. I've got one there, and third one's just been taken this morning. So average is well within ADR. Nice, easy exit on a pullback. So I'm just looking for some kind of pullback on this to exit that one. It's extended on the 4-hour still. It was extended, obviously, on the hourly, which is why I got into it. So that was the first entry on that extension, and we just kind of flagged and haven't gone anywhere. So just looking for some kind of pullback into propulsion. If it continues down, obviously I'll just move targets down as we scale in and get out in the next propulsion gaps. Market's flying today. Target almost hit on the Dow. That's your hourly candle close just gone in. Just closing the Dow. I'll give it a second. Just a bit too close to target. Yeah, just going to close the Dow. First entry out. 1.5-ish. So yeah, just trailing. See if we can get some runners. Just trailing the rest of them. So that's your hourly candle close. So quite often you get orders entered right at the end of the hour, which is why we saw that pop there on that 5-minute candle, and you get orders entered on the start of the hour, which is obviously now. So you tend to get a lot more volatility right at the open and close of the hourly candles. Yeah, US dollar Swiss, not quite got a reverse alert on that this morning. We rejected that propulsion gap. So looking for that move to come in, but not there yet. Euro US dollar. Obviously, that's flowing to the upside because of the US dollar weakness. That's your CPIs. So this is the CPI figure for the US. That's what's caused that propulsion gap. We tap straight into it. So my target is basically a double bottom there at the moment. I get the feeling I'm going to need to scale in another one on this. This US dollar looks really weak. So as this pushes up, I'll get into more. This is extended on the 4-hour. Above the 75 level still. So we're looking for basically some kind of pullback on this move. I'm looking for areas, really. There's nothing really clean because it's just come down like this. Yeah, there's no obvious level. It could react to any one of these points on the way back up. So just watching the propulsion gaps basically, because these were the big orders on the way down. So this is where you're likely to find movement. So just watching for the propulsion gaps, see if we get some bounces. As I scale in, I just move the target up into the nearest propulsion gap that gets me out at a profit. And just wait for that to move. But yeah, nicely extended still. Divergence on the RSI. So RSI weakening, price strengthening. So it's all bearish divergence. Everything looking bearish. Looks like the dollar needs a move. The only thing we've got coming up really is FOMC tomorrow, but the Canadian CPI figure could well reverse that US move. If the CPI figures for the CAD come out different, i.e. positive, we could well get a rally on the US dollar as well. So we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow. There's lots of news that could move this. So that's extended on the 4-hour. The Euro CAD also extended to the upside. Big, strong push up there. This one's got a monthly high coming up. Double top. We looked at this one, so that's where I would expect some kind of reaction to that entire move. There's not been a profit take on that whole thing. Look, yeah, we haven't had a decent pullback at all on that move. So I'll be looking for a nice big pullback on that. We have got this area here and this area here potentially for support on the way back if it's going to continue up. Again, Canadian dollar, I would have expected to power up a little bit more on that move today, but hasn't. So that's nicely extended. That's extended on the hourly as well. So that's a 4-hour RSI extension, looking for that pullback move. And on the hourly, nicely extended as well. So we're back up above the 75 level on the hourly. Again, divergence. All bearish. Just no real weakness at the moment. New high gone in on the NASDAQ. So yeah, good short opportunity on that if you're not already on it. CAD yen we've already looked at. All yen's extended to the downside. That's had a nice bounce today already. So you've had a reverse alert on that one. Down here, beautiful W pattern reversal. CAD Swiss, my friend, I'm out of. Still dropping. Where this is going, I do not know now. So we're out of the monthly lows. We're coming down into like uncharted territory now. Look, so see how far we've got to go back to find support from where we are. This is all-time lows. 83.38, yeah. So all-time lows here now. There's nothing to look at. Literally, this could go wherever it wants. There's no levels that we're going to find any help, any support at. We're in uncharted territory. So literally, it's a case of when the banks decide they've had enough, they will profit take the move. We're in their hands, always are. So yeah, just waiting basically. We have got the advantage of being on a multiple down day run. So obviously when the market is moving, it tends to move in cycles. So you get 3 to 5 day moves and then you get profit takes. We are on day 6 now, down. So we would expect some kind of pullback to start soon. I am miles away from getting out of this thing at the moment. So I need a decent like multi-day run to get out at the minute, which is why I'm getting aggressive drawdown control positions on, because when it comes, I need to be on it. So yeah, really stuck on this CAD Swiss at the minute, but not a lot I can do about it. New high of the day, just gone in on the Dow. Closing that because I didn't close the first one. I completely forgot. We're starting to find a little bit of resistance to the upside on the NASDAQ and the S&P. So we stopped there, pulled back. We've just tried to get through again. We've got a nice wick gone in there. We are stalling out a little bit on these. Dow, though, nice new highs going in. Good run on the Dow. Got a very wide trading stop on that. Dow's just coming up into the monthly high. CAD Swiss, we got 2, didn't we? So we got the Aussies to do. Yeah, so it's this high again on the Dow. Look, this previous monthly level, which is where we stopped at on the weekly. So this this reversal that happened last week was pretty much to the pip there. So that high is where we stopped last week and the limit orders triggered. We're back at this high where we stopped earlier on in the week. The limit orders triggered. So we know that this area is a very good resistance. We've sold from it. Every time we've approached it, we've sold away from it, We've hit it, we've hit resistance, and we're accumulating. So if that pops, next stop is up at those highs. If it doesn't, we're going to look to pull back into this area down here. So loads of room to both sides when it decides to break. We're on day 4 now of not knowing whether we're breaking or not. So we'll see where we go, but good upside potential today if we can get a run on. So Aussie US extended on the 4-hour. The upside, nice reversal going in on that one, just shy of ADR today. So we looked at this one this morning. We had a double top form at previous support. here. We tested it, rejected it, tested it, rejected it, and now we've slammed through. So this is kind of a wide multi-distance sort of range that we've had running since sort of middle of August, early August. That's the first time we've broken and held that level. So market structure from here, there's your reversal alert, high, higher low, there's your higher high. So we're looking for a pullback higher low somewhere in this propulsion move. Now that could be it, because if you look at the structure, we've got that low, that high, higher low, and then we've got a higher high here. So we have already broken that. So this could be the higher low on that leg there. So there could be more upside on this. It's very difficult to pick an upside on it, but if we're going to continue to be weak on this US, you want to be looking for propulsion moves to act as support as we're going up. The big question is, are we going to retest this CPI number or not? The US. Still not convinced. I was hoping we'd have a little bit more of a pullback on it, but we haven't. So at the minute, it just looks like this US dollar is going to continue to weaken, in which case you want to be getting out fairly quick on any of these. So that's extended on the 4 hour again. Again, divergence on the RSI. We've got lower high going in on the RSI, higher high going in on price. So it's bearish divergence. We've also got the Aussie dollar CAD. So Aussie US and Aussie CAD, these are both going to move very similarly because the US and the CAD move together. So if you're getting into both of these short, you're obviously doubling your exposure, because if the Australian dollar suddenly rallies, Aussie CAD is going to rally and Aussie US is going to rally. If the US dollar suddenly powers up or drops, the Canadian will move with the US dollar. Just be careful of exposure on these two. But so yeah, I'm getting into position number 3 on this one, on the next reversal alert. That's extended on the 4 hour. And it's also extended on the hourly as well, just about. But I'm not sure if I'm going to get a reversal alert on 5 minutes on it. So I've got a pending order there. Yeah, it's retesting. Look, so what I'm looking for is a lower high off of that reversal alert. Yeah, to come down. So that one was 1 and a bit pips too close to my previous order for the EA to trigger, hence putting a pending of my own there. So if my own pending order triggers and then it just flip-flops around, puts a new high in, and then gives me a reversal alert, next time it moves down, I need to make sure I take that one off, otherwise I'm double exposed. But I've only got 2 positions on it, so it's not. There we go. So there's your RSIs, plenty of them. Afternoon outro. How was my spa trip? Very good, thank you. I mixed with the multimillionaires. It's that posh. They had a helipad in the garden. That's how posh it was. I turned up in my car, which is only 2 years old, fairly nice, and we looked like the poor people in the car park. So gives you an idea of the type of location I was in on Friday. Put it this way. A glass of wine was £19. A glass. How is the SIH treating you today? Very nice. It's my birthday today, outro. So what the markets have done is given us 3 clean breaks, straight up to 2-hour targets, and they're going away with our runners. So there you go. Oh, and the best thing, Brian, you've just reminded me. I wasn't brave enough, right, to do this. But you'll never guess what they had there. Right? This is where I went. You'll never guess what they had. I was like, you've got to take it to my wife. You've got to take a photo of me doing this. But they have their very own. I hope there's a picture of it. There's not going to be a picture of it. Wild swimming pool. They have a wild swimming pool. I could have gone wild swimming, but it's not heated. What's that bloke doing? What are you doing, mate? Sorry, I would expect somewhere of this caliber to have edited their photos. Look at him. He's got a screwdriver. Look, he's just built it. So that, yes, they had a wild swimming pool, but I didn't go in the wild swimming pool. It was very sad. I did go in there, though. Yeah, nice place. Bit pricey. Anyway. I missed it. I missed wild swimming. Stupid. Afternoon, Tammy. Greg would be proud, yeah. Wine, was that on the large or the small glass? That was a small glass. 175ml wine was £19. Put it this way. I went into the restaurant, right, and we had a deal on. So we had £85 voucher for our meal. The bill came in at £90 that I had to pay on top of the £85 voucher that we had. So an evening meal for two was nearly £200. It was very nice, but it's that food that comes out, you know, like it was, I ordered the fish. So I had a piece of fish like that with a leaf on top and some jus. Not bad for 40 quid, is it? Normally £400 a night, and the rest, way more than £400 a night. I wish. Yeah. I was in the smallest, cheapest room. That was over 500 quid. Very nice, though. It's the sort of place you go to once, and then you realise, unless I become a multimillionaire and have a helicopter, I ain't going back. There's people getting married there as well, and having the entire wedding there, and booking the hotel out for the wedding. Eye-watering amounts of money. Yeah, it's good. Good fun. Right, that's what I've got for you today. I think everything's covered. RSIs and ADRs. Just be careful with these yens. Very, very big. Forex lifestyle. Yeah, no, it's not Forex lifestyle. I couldn't go there normally. I had a voucher to go there. That's why I went there. My mate, I've got a mate who I go to my spin class with, and I went out for dinner with him on Saturday. And he said to me, oh, yeah, we went there. We looked at it for our wedding. We drove up the driveway and drove out again. Even driving up to the place, you're like, I can't afford this as my wedding. It's one of those venues. You have to be either royalty, a knight, or a member of the House of Lords, basically. Other than that, Holiday Inn. Just about to stop out on second half of the Dow and probably the S&P 1.5 hour. So there you go. Not bad, eh? Thank you very much. Happy birthday to me. So I'm going to let these run. This one's running at 1 hour. This one is also running at 1 hour. So basically just going to trail these two as far as we can go, if we can go. So it looks like it's going to be a trend day. However, we have got lots of upside resistance we might run into. So I'll take what it gives me basically today. Down this way, the Cotswolds, 43 for a gin and tonic during race week. Yep. It's unbelievable, these places. The weird thing about that place that I went to as well is you felt like you were on your own. It was such a big hotel and the rooms were so massive. Like, we were in the bar at 9:30 and there was just us two in there and the waiter guy. And we were like, where is everybody? And he said, oh, they're probably at dinner. They'll be in later. And we're like, but where is everybody? It's like you're walking around and the only thing is ghosts. People just didn't seem to be anywhere. What is going to be interesting is when the indices will start a major pullback before another bull run. Yep. At some point, they will pull back. We are overdue, massively overdue, a pullback on this this leg that started back in, well, basically it's November, isn't it? So this is October. This is November the 1st. Yeah, we haven't had a pullback yet this month. We've had an accumulation in the middle of the month, but we broke it. CPI hammered the nail in the coffin. But if you look at what's happening now, we're 4 or 5 days sideways. So market moves in pushes, and either pushes, pulls, or pushes and accumulates. Yeah. If it's going to accumulate again, it's either going to do that or it's going to do that. If it does that, it's coming back down to here. So that's where you want to be watching, downside, which is that CPI fill. It's whether it can get there. It seems there's an awful lot of power in this at the moment. The market just seems massively bullish. Every long break seems to go. Every downside break struggles. Like the DAX today, look. DAX tried to break down today. Look what happened. So, nope. We pushed up. We finally tried to slam through it. And then we managed that, and that's it. Yeah, it's really difficult for the market to go short. It seems very effortless for it to go long at the moment. So I think when we do get that breakdown, it'll probably be fairly quick and sharp. A little bit like that CPI. And it will probably happen on news. It will probably take a news event, and we'll suddenly get like a 150 ADR day. The next day, we'll maybe put in 3/4 of an ADR. Then we'll slow down, and then we'll start probably to climb back up again. But we'll see. Don't forget, it's coming into December, not next week, week after next. And that is when we tend to start the Santa rally. So we tend to rally into Christmas. So the week before Christmas, it tends to all go dead. But those 3 weeks of December before we hit the Christmas period, the market does tend to rally. So we didn't have one last year. We missed the Santa rally last year. Because we were in that bear volatile market. So we weren't able to rally this time last year, which is probably the first year I've seen us not actually have a Santa rally. So that was December last year. Very rare. Normally that's December. That's typically what we see in December. We see a strong multi-week rally. We didn't get one last year. First time. Not the first time ever, but, you know, unusual. But last year was an unusual year. We don't get bear volatile markets very often, do we? Is that where they do cheese rolling? No. I don't know where they do cheese rolling. That's not there. Cheese rolling. Those people are mental. Totally mental. You've got to have a suicide wish to be a cheese roller, haven't you? Really. Right. I'm going to call it a day there. So happy to be out of oil. Very happy to be out of oil. So basically, I've come out of oil with a small profit after a month of pain. So I've had it with oil. So the only issue I've got at the moment is the CAD Swiss. So I'm just watching for aggressive drawdown control positions on the CAD Swiss. Everything else is just in normal movement. We're just waiting for moves to get underway. So I'm just going to be watching this one at the moment. I'm still not on any yen pairs. So the market reverse alerts EA is turned off on all yens for the moment. Just because it's become very expensive to trade it over the last few months. So I've just decided to give it a rest for a little bit, the yen. But like everything, we will get a nice pullback on this at some point. So yeah, but we'll see. So I'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, 7:50. And we'll obviously see how we go tomorrow morning. I'm out of those, so I'm flat on everything now. Just got out of the S&P and the Dow second halves, so flat. Good day. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:50 for the DAX. Same time, 2:20 tomorrow afternoon for the US. Just be aware of overnight news. We've got Bullock speaking this evening from RBA. We've got Bailey later. Where is he? Henry Plum Memorial Lecture. So he's speaking later at something. But tomorrow morning, so overnight, basically watch your Australian dollars, or rather, if you've got any profit on the Australian dollars, protect them, because we've got some potential volatility coming in overnight on the Aussie. But then we're waiting tomorrow for CPI. All right, so have a good evening. I'll be back tomorrow morning. We'll obviously trade as usual the DAX, and if not, tomorrow afternoon. Have a good day.